Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Why beginner recorder players sound like this? And why it's probably not what you think. The short answer is, it's the tonguing. Were you expecting that? Let's get into it. That clumsy, ungainly way of playing is due to detached tonguing. Each note separated rather than smoothly shaped and connected. I always say to my students, the tongue is your most expressive tool. But, don't know why I did that, I'm immediately going to get more complicated on you. Tonguing on the recorder does not exist in a vacuum. We also have the airflow. Because detached tonguing on its own does not have to be bad. Take a lively dance movement. Or a bass line. Both can be made more lively, more defined, more expressive with detached tonguing. It's the fact that beginner players often start and stop the airflow with every note. This gives us... So let me correct myself, it's more the lack of correct tonguing. Everything on the recorder all works together. So how should it work then? Think of a tap or a faucet. Your air is like the water and your tongue is the tap valve. You turn the tap on and off to make the water start and stop. Psh, 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 psh. But the water is always there. On the recorder, we blow a steady stream of air and the tongue shapes it. Of course, this can be more nuanced. We do stop blowing for rests or for breaths in, for example, but this is the basis. So, who amongst you was going to say it's the squeaks that make a beginner sound like a beginner? Are we blowing too hard? In this case, these delightful high squeaks are not only caused by blowing too hard. We can actually blow a lot without cracking the note. It changes the pitch, but I'm not squeaking. Disclaimer, this isn't the same for all notes. If I cover more fingers, we do overblow, but only to the octave. Complexities within complexities. But what I mean is blowing too hard is only a small part of the genesis of a squeak. It's the fingers that don't cover the holes properly, leaking and thus destabilising the note. Then add a tiny bit too much air and squeak! What about your instrument? Can you sound good on a cheap recorder? It depends how cheap. A rubbish toy like my Fairy Princess recorder will always sound bad. Don't waste your money. If it came free with a magazine, it can go straight in the bin. For the good, reliable starter recorders, the budget recorders we could say, I'm talking about our Yamahas, Orlos, Music Garden. We've got very fine starter recorders from Mollenhauer Fippel. That calibre, you can absolutely sound very fine. It's more that these starter recorders can't take you as far as one day you may want to go. At a certain point, you will start to want more depth of tone, more flexibility in sound. So the answer is, don't be too quick to blame your instrument. After all, can I make my handmade soprano sound like a beginner? Absolutely. What about your posture? I often see beginners with a lot of tension here, here, here. And most importantly, the recorder is often too far into your mouth. Which, guess what? It means your tonguing is going to get real ungainly. We want to tongue with the tip of your tongue, here on the gummy ridge behind your teeth. If the recorder is too far in, you end up tonguing on the recorder itself with this part of your tongue. Listen to the difference. And finally, how does a beginner student know what to aim for? Do they know what a good professional recorder player sounds like? If all we hear is, it's difficult to propel ourselves much further. As a teacher, we can demonstrate, but we can also play lots of recordings, show examples. And at this point, I want to turn it back around to you and say thank you. Yesterday, I posted a short vertical video where I asked you what you all think is the cause of that beginner sound. Your answers were so insightful, thoughtful, considered. We had commenters bringing their 40 years of teaching experience, commenters going deep into neurology and brain development. It was amazing. So do go and take a look at these comments spread across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. And you know what? Everything that you wrote in the comments does play its part all together. If there's something I've not mentioned in this video, please share it below too. And for each student, it will be a little bit different. One may have a longer journey with their fingers, another with breath control, another with reading. Let's summarise. My short answer was, it's your tongue. But the longer answer is, it's a little bit of everything all together. So what can we take with us? How can we sound good as a beginner? Blow a steady stream of air. Listen to your tone and blow enough to let the recorder resonate. Make sure your fingers don't leak and pay attention to your tonguing. We can tongue smooth like singing la 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 la, or we can tongue staccato, stopping the note with the tongue very short. And we can mix it all together for musicality. Beautiful. Does that sound like a lot? Yeah, the recorder is hard and complicated, and it only gets more hard and more complicated the more you learn. But the journey is amazing. Start learning music and I promise you, you will never be bored or uninspired. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here in the corner. Over here's the Team Recorder Patreon, where you can support this free music education. Here's some more videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!